Hey everyone, it's Jaime here with bookkeepers.com. And if you don't already know, this channel exists to help you grow, start, and scale your bookkeeping business. Now, this is part 2 of a 4-part series. So if you haven't seen part 1, which was all about paid ads and how they're actually a lot more affordable than you think, well, go watch that now. This is going to be part 2 where we're going to be talking all about branding. Whether that's working on a personal brand or a business brand, we're going to get you covered. This is a very small part of a full hour conversation I had with brand specialist and founder of Elementsist, Keira Krenek. So let's get started with our conversation.
So the first thing we are going to discuss is going to be the difference between a personal brand and a business brand. So a personal brand doesn't just mean it's for influencer personalities, it can still be a business-oriented brand. So let's get something out of the way before we even start. I know there is a big misconception on what exactly branding is. And the very first thing I want to debunk for you is that branding is not just a logo, a color scheme, and maybe a tagline. It is so much more than that. High converting brands, legacy brands, and I know the first one I'm going to say is not what you're going to think, but think McDonald's, Nike, Rolex, Warby Parker, brands that you see their logo or their colors and you immediately know who they are. They require immense amount of strategy to ensure that every marketing asset, client touchpoint, and user experience is a really cohesive representation of exactly what they want their brand's values and mission to communicate to their audience. So in defining the difference between personal brands and business brands, the short answer is this. Personal brands are built around you, your personality, your values, experiences, and your lived opinions within your business and niche, not just any opinions you have. The goal of a personal brand is to build individual relationships, which sounds like it really resonates with your methodology here. Whereas a business brand is designed to build a community. It's scalable and it doesn't rely on a sole personality alone to represent it. These are the brands that become legacies, business brands, meaning that you're going to instinctively know who they are when you see their logo and you immediately know what they offer and what they stand for. But let's dive a little deeper into exactly what goes into each of these kinds of brands. Back to personal brands. Like I said, a personal brand is built around your personality, values, experiences, opinions. And at its core, a personal brand is about building relationships. You are the face of the brand, and the connections, trust, and authenticity you establish directly drive the business. Taking the personal brand approach is especially going to work well for small businesses like bookkeepers who want to stand out in a competitive market through genuine relationship-driven differentiation. There are limitations though. It can be hard to scale or sell a business someday that is based on a personal brand because everything in it is tied to you. You're the face of the brand and the trust and the credibility then flow through you. Still, personal brands are a strong choice for solopreneurs, thought leaders, and client-facing professionals. A business brand, on the other hand, is designed to establish a community, build a legacy, and ultimately for ease of scalability. Business brands are rooted in facts, systems, and research, not personal stories. And this is going to allow for expansion into team-based organizations and even the eventual sale of that business. You can still be the face, but your brand isn't limited to you. And the benefits of establishing a business brand are long-term growth and potential eventual succession. So let's compare the two. Personal brands, relational, opinion-driven, and tied to the individual. Business brands, scalable, process-driven, team-oriented. You can use a hybrid approach. In fact, I think that's kind of how bookkeepers.com is set up. Jaime is the face, but he is not the only face. There's his face. Many solopreneurs are going to start as personal brands, but strategically layer in a business brand for credibility and scale down the line. Services such as bookkeepers are often going to blur these lines. Some of you are going to start as solo practitioners, which would be considered a personal brand, but later you're going to want to scale into a larger organization, which could be a business brand. And having clarity around the intentions of the brand you are trying to build will impact multiple aspects of your business, including how you build authority and credibility and the voice and positioning you're going to use online. So when you consider your long-term growth goals, I want you to ask yourself, am I building a business around myself, or am I building an eventual organization that can run without me? Even if you prioritize business first identity, humanizing it is crucial for business trust. Nobody wants to interact with a faceless business anymore. They want to know there's a human behind that logo. So here are some key ways to achieve this. You can share your founder story. It's going to communicate that authenticity and be relatable in explaining the reasons behind the business's inception, the background that shaped it, and the enduring values that are going to continue to guide it. Or by displaying trust signals. These are going to be instant credibility that can be reinforced by using case studies, client success stories, or even partnerships. These are signals providing tangible evidence of the business's ability to deliver on its promise. Another way is to lead with values. Humanizing a brand requires clarity on values beyond profit. By clarifying states what businesses stand for, you can build deeper emotional connections and foster long-term loyalty. And now, just because you've decided to eventually build a business brand doesn't mean that you are not currently starting with a personal brand. And if that's the case, I want you to position your brand's eventual evolution from personal to business as revitalization instead of seeing brand evolution as a replacement for your previous brand. Positioning it as revitalization makes the approach feel inclusive and engaging to your existing audience without making it feel foreign, like an entire different entity has taken over. And finally, try to showcase the people behind the brand. Putting faces to the business, whether it's founders, team members, or community participants, reminds audiences that real humans are behind this logo. Many of us are probably starting with a personal brand. So here's how we do that same thing to make sure we're still communicating on a human level. Start by clarifying your core identity. Define your personality traits, values, and unique strengths. Identify what makes you different in your field. This is going to be your UVP or unique value proposition. I want you to tell your story. Similar to a founder's story, share your journey, your experiences, and the reasons behind why you chose this profession. Now, this is going to probably be the most difficult on this checklist, dramatic effect, but I need you to show up consistently, post regularly on social platforms, and maintain a consistent tone and style that aligns with your brand voice. And similarly to business brands, you still need to provide value through expertise. And you can do that by sharing educational insights, thought leadership, and client tips. Highlight your niche expertise to attract the right audience. And of course, the hallmark of a personal brand, you need to build relationships. Focus on engagement with your audience at every touch point. On social channels, do this by replying to comments, messages, and feedback. And again, showing some overlap, you want to demonstrate credibility. So share testimonials, client results if you can, or speaking engagements that you've had. Align your messaging with your professional credentials. And finally, humanize through transparency. This one might not feel fully professional, but show behind the scenes of your work on a daily life and really be open about your wins and challenges to open and humanize your brand. I know that was a lot, and this is only the first section. So for each section that we go to, I'm going to break these topics down into actionable steps. And depending on where you are in your bookkeeping journey, I have 3 tiers of actionable steps to offer you per topic. So bronze will be for if you're really new to this, you're just getting started, you're looking for, or maybe you recently landed your first clients. Silver will be if you've been doing this for a bit, maybe a year or 2, and you have your first couple of clients, things are going smoothly. And gold is for people who have made bookkeeping their full-time job and are looking to build a solid brand and expand their business at an expedited pace. So my bronze recommendation is choose one path, personal brand or business brand, and write down why. This clarity is going to shape how you show up online. Silver, begin layering in those credibility signals. Add a short founder story and 1 client testimonial to your website or your LinkedIn. And gold, if you are planning to grow beyond yourself, start introducing your business brand on top of your personal brand. Highlight your team, systems, or community impact so your brand is bigger than just you.
Thank y'all so much for joining. If you want to see more content like this or see the full conversation that I had with Keira Krenek, you're going to want to go to dba.org for $99 a year. That's less than 2 cups of coffee a month. You can have all of this content every 2 weeks, plus an extra course where we teach you how to scale your business. All the links mentioned in the video, including the Bookkeepers Toolkit, is going to be right under this video in the description. Now you're going to want to tune into the next 2 videos after this to finish off our 4-part series of our conversation with Keira Krenek. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.